All right, welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for coming over. We are on the Do You Remember channel, and we got 10 strange home features only boomers will remember. I told y'all I looked up boomers, the age when, that'll be my mom and them. I'm excited for this. Hopefully there's some stuff in here I've never seen before, um, compared to some videos I watch. But it's all good. Shout out to all the good humans. I'll leave the link to their channel in the description. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Have you ever been walking in a very old neighborhood and noticed those little metal doors near the bottom of the first floor? Or huge rectangular slabs of granite sitting right next to the curb in front of a fancy house? Of course you've wondered, what the heck are these things and what are they for? Well, you're certainly not alone, because as technology changes, people's needs in their homes change too. And some features of houses that used to be commonplace are now incredibly rare. Welcome, I am Nostalgic Nick with Do You Remember? And today we are going to be looking at 10 obsolete home features from back in the day. If you enjoy our rewind, please smash that thumbs up icon for us. And subscribe to our channel so you never miss a walk down memory lane. Now let's slide down the laundry chute and get to work. Coal chute. At one point in our not-so-distant past, coal was the primary method for heating our homes. Which sounds absolutely awful to me for two reasons. One, can you imagine the amount of smoke floating around our cities? And two, where the hell does one even get coal? And hey, don't you say my stocking, okay? I've been good. Fortunately, our forebears were ingenious and solved this second problem with a coal door or chute. Which is exactly what it sounds like, a small metal door near the bottom of your house that a roving coal salesperson would open and shovel coal through, sending it down the chute and into the basement to be used in a furnace. I know, thank God for electricity. But obviously no one heats their home through coal anymore. And so these little metal doors are now but architectural curiosities today. Milk door.
At all.
Speaking of doors, let's talk milk.
Yes, and please comment below if you guys had that, if your home still have it, or just whatever. Because I know some people, their grandparents might live in an older house. I'm just wondering, because I'm trying to think if I've ever seen that in a movie or on a show where you're watching like on HGTV and they show like an old, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that, or this milk one either.
Because coal wasn't the only thing a wandering delivery guy would place directly into your home. Back in the day, many houses had a milk door, which was basically a two-sided door on the side of your house. Normally into the kitchen or pantry. The milkman would open his side, deposit his white gold, and seal it back up. Then you could open the door from the inside, and that sweet, sweet cow juice was at your disposal. The door was both a convenient way to receive your daily stipend of milk, and also served to keep the milk cold. However, milkmen have gone the way of the dodos. And while kids' parentage gets called into question less frequently, milk doors are now rather useless. Blade banks. The next entry on our list is a blade bank. And before you get all excited thinking about where Wesley Snipes stores all that money he did not give to the government, in actuality, a blade bank is actually kinda boring. Because it's a slit in the wall of your bathroom where you would drop the razor blade in the days before reusable razors. And where would those razors go? Into a removable container you could empty at a whim? Well, no, of course not. They just went in between the walls of your house to just sit there in rusted glory forever.
What?
But due to the advent of reusable razors, blade banks are now also obsolete. Servant floor button. This next obsolete feature was always pretty rare even back in the day. Because how many people could ever afford a butler? Certainly no one in my family. But imagine you lived 100 years ago, were very, very wealthy, and were at breakfast. And you realized you were out of milk. You're not walking downstairs to that milk door yourself, no. And it would be undignified to scream for Jeeves at the top of your voice. So what do? You step on that servant button, of course, conveniently located under the dining room table. and connected to wherever Jeeves spends his time when he's not waiting on you hand and foot. A little bell will tinkle, and poor old Jeeves will come a-running. But in these days of cell phones, most servant buttons lay forgotten under some old rugs in some older houses. Dumbwaiter.
All right.
Moving on from talking servants to ones who have no voice at all, we get to the dumbwaiter. Named not because of its relative intelligence, but because it is in fact a rudimentary elevator that does not have the capacity for speech. Invented in order to limit the amount of servants needed around the dining room. The dumbwaiter was a small elevator that used a pulley system to bring food up from the kitchen. But eventually, dining rooms migrated to the ground level of houses, which, along with the relative dangerousness of that device, I mean, what kid could ever resist playing in that? It all meant that dumbwaiters are no longer features of a modern home. I know, so sad, so sad. Speaking tubes, intercoms. If you have no idea what a speaking tube is, don't feel bad, because I doubt anyone under the age of 100 has any experience with them. They were basically primitive intercoms, tubes running through the walls of your house. With a nickel mouthpiece on either end, you could use both for speaking and listening.
My apologies, because I said boomers, so this is boomers, but my mama's a baby boomer. Because I'm like, hold on now. A lot of this stuff, I don't know if my mama remember this. Yeah.
With garbled results, I'd imagine. Speaking tubes obviously became obsolete with the invention of modern intercoms. Of course, even intercoms are themselves obsolete these days. Because almost everyone everywhere has a smartphone. Really just a fancy intercom, and that's in their pocket at all times. Laundry chute.
Laundry chute.
Ah, the laundry chute. That magical portal that, as a child, you could dump your dirty clothes into, only for them to magically reappear clean upstairs in your drawers. Wonderfully portrayed in countless films as a vehicle to escape would-be kidnappers, or to smash the head of a burglar in. You know, if you're Kevin McAllister in Home Alone.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
But this both fun and convenient feature of old houses has today kind of become obsolete. Household sizes are much smaller than they used to be, making gathering the laundry easier. Plus, washers and dryers themselves have become smaller, allowing them to migrate out of the basement and into the upstairs. Boot scrapers. Imagine life before paved roads. It's a rainy day, and the street is absolutely awash with mud. I mean, it's on everything: your pants, your overcoat, and most extensively, your boots. They are completely caked with the stuff, and the last thing you want to do is track all that mud into your house. Fortunately for you, you and everyone you know has a boot scraper built into the stoops of your house, called a découtoir in French. A reference to having to scrape poop off your shoes after being in the street. A boot scraper was a permanent cast iron blade used to clean mud, snow, and yes, poo off your shoes before you entered a home. Fortunately, the streets are a lot cleaner today, and there's barely any poop on my shoes right now. Rabbit ear antennas.
What?
Kids these days don't know how good they have it with their cable, their DirecTV, and their dozens of streaming services. They'll never know the pain of having to use rabbit ear antennas on top of their TVs. And to you kids watching this, imagine only having 3 channels, or even 2. And those channels are literally beamed into your home from miles away. And the signals, well, they always suck. And so you have these 2 incredibly long metal antennas coming out from your TV that vaguely resemble Bugs Bunny's head. And they have to be twisted into just the right position to make it seem like the screen wasn't snowing. Ugh, seriously, rabbit ears were so tetchy that just a little touch would ruin the picture completely. But hey, they were sure better than nothing. Home phones. If you're growing up now, you probably have no idea how important the home phone used to be.
Oh, hi, Edward.
It was one of the only ways to get information in and out of your home without having to actually leave it. And one of the few ways people could find you. You used it to help fix leaky pipes, to call the fire department, to talk to your 6th grade crush. It was all important and now has virtually no use. Again, because we all have a supercomputer in our pocket. The best way to illustrate how important they used to be is to tell a story. When my good friends finally got rid of their landline, they kicked their eldest and grown-up son out of the family cell phone plan in order to free up a cell phone line. So that one can just sit in the house and act like a home phone. Think about how crazy that is, but that's the importance the home phone used to have. Not to mention the cool cord that it had, you would stretch it as long as it went and try to get some privacy down the hall. Seriously, it was an art form. There they are, 10 obsolete home features that used to be incredibly important, but today have no use at all. So, how many of these did you actually grow up with? And did we forget an old home feature that today is obsolete? We'll get in the comments and add them.
I'm just trying to remember when was the last time I actually used my home phone. When was the last time that thing actually rung? Huh. Yeah, we have it, but we just don't use it at all. Yeah, so that's why I had to pause and say baby boomer, because I'm like, no, I think this might have been before my mama, or she might have been little. I'm not sure. But comment below if you ever had any of this, if you still had it, or if you don't and you want it back. What do you think we can still use out of all that stuff today? Please comment below. Appreciate y'all coming over and watching. Peace out.